Good Wednesday morning. How are you this morning? I am much better this morning. Everything was working right today. I know. Yesterday I was like, oh my goodness. But I love it actually when that happens. When the mess happens, the blessing's about to happen. And so yesterday when I walked in, it was a mess. But then God just blessed all day long. If you didn't get to listen yesterday, you need to go back and listen to that interview. It's on Facebook and it's on YouTube. Our YouTube is WAPN 91.5 FM. It's a long interview because it was like 8 different nonprofits. What we do at the end of the year, so beginning of the year, Volusia County Women That Care and me and all the people that that year were recipients, we try to get them all in here and talk about what they actually did with the finances. And so yesterday was the day. Teresa's such a trooper, how she organizes it all and gets all these people in here. We went from oh my goodness, to a free clinic, which is if you don't have insurance and you work, you can get, medical help. So that was great, about dogs and fostering dogs and getting them neutered. And we did counseling, senior care. We did the arts. We did a little bit of everything, stuff for the Dolly Parton thing. I mean, we did a little bit of everything. And that's what I love about WAPN and our airways. Yes, we are Christians. Yes, our purpose is to win souls for Christ. Yes, we love to pray for you. But my goal is to bridge the nonprofits and the churches together so that when we have somebody come to our church and we need a resource, we have this great list of resources of here in town that can help people get an ID, help you with fostering, help you with, a need. Maybe you need some socks and stuff. Maybe you know somebody that got a foster child in the middle of the night and they need some needs. And I don't know, but I want to be that bridge. And so part of being that bridge is to be in different women's groups. So I'm in Bold Ladies of Volusia County. I am in Junior League. I'm taking a break from them, but I'm still with Junior League. I love Junior League. I'm excited about their diaper bank, collecting wet ones that I'll get to Michelle. So that will not stop. And then, of course, Volusia County Women That Care, and then radio. And so it is important to be part of this community. Very important to me to live here, breathe here, own business here, participate here. So just a great way is to get involved with the nonprofits, volunteer opportunities. They need people that will foster dogs. And I know that seems like, really? How important is that? It is important. Everything is important. And it's important to walk in this park up here in Holly Hill and see what they've done there. They've got like a story come to life. And so there's just different things going on all over the place. And I encourage you to go back and listen to the interview, even if you have to break it up a few times because it's a long interview. But be part of our community. Be part of these nonprofits that we're in. So also today at 7 a.m., I'll be interviewing another nonprofit here in town. This week is busy with interviews. Love it, love it, love it, love it. I love kicking off the new year with all kinds of stuff and getting her going. I'm a person that does challenges. So we are doing, decluttering challenge. This week it's in the bedroom. And, how many people have socks that you just keep throwing in your drawer? There's not a match to it. Maybe there's a hole in it. I have to say my husband is amazing about throwing out his socks that get holes in it. He really is. Hats off to him for that because I'm not good at that kind of stuff. Let's get real. And so he does that. And getting the socks together is cheap entertainment. So we have like good socks and we have work socks and my socks. But socks is a big thing. So that's one of the things that we're organizing, we're getting rid of, and I appreciate doing these little things. Little things become big things. Habits become bigger habits. Like I make my bed as soon as I get up every single morning. I get my clothes out the night before. Just little tiny things that prepare you for success for the next day. And so usually I get up in the middle of the night. When I get up in the middle of the night, I say, okay, God, who are we praying for today? And download a letter. And then I go from that letter and add the vows, and I just pray for all kinds of different things. And that always just lets me fall back asleep. And then before my feet hit the ground, I'm praising the Lord for 3 things. I have an attitude of gratitude. Get away with my stinking thinking. Real easy to get in the stinking thinking mode, or it's grateful mode. And so I like to get in the grateful mode. And then I like to ask God, so what are we doing today? And, I love that. What are we doing today? It's just saying, how are you? I think it's better to say, what was the best part of today? And if you change your lingo, change how you smile, change how you ask somebody something, it's actually asking them something that will like shock them. They'll go, what did you say? Instead of how was your day? Or, how are you? How was your day? What was the best part about today? And engage with the conversation so that people feel like, okay, they even care. When was the last time you engaged in a real conversation with the lady at Publix or wherever you shop? I love my grocery store. We have certain people there that we stop and talk to and visit with. We have our Buffalo Bills people. We have, our little ladies that are so good to us. And so I engage in my conversation. When I walk away, I actually feel like I know that person. I became part of their lives. And I think that's so important. We get so busy with life. We, don't make time to do those little things. And that's something that I'm being intentional with this year. I'm a goal person. And so I don't do resolutions. I would set myself up for failure, but I do goals, and I like to be intentional. And so learning to be intentional, probably this is my third year of really trying to be intentional. So I try to be intentional when I show up. When I show up, I engage in the conversation. I participate. I like to find out something about a person, and then I like to store it away and remember that. Maybe it's their favorite color. Maybe it's their favorite food. Maybe it's something easy. I don't know what it is, but try to think when you meet somebody, try to remember something that is important to them or they've mentioned or whatever, and kind of store that. So when you see them again, that will trigger you to say, oh yeah, I met them at whatever, or I know that her favorite color is this, or I know that her kids go to that school, or she's got a cool job, whatever it is. Find something to hold into your memory, and that makes you intentional. And so as I was coming into work this day, I was thinking today's my busy day, and I added extra stuff to the busy day, and then I added more extra stuff. I love it that God has multiplied my time for today. I don't get up today and go, oh no, there's no way I'm going to pull it off. I get up today and I say, it is going to be a great day, and I see how God's going to work this out. I might have to juggle a few things. I might have to go a different route, but I'm going to make it all happen, and it's going to be a great day. When you change your stinking thinking instead of setting yourself up for failure, and we all do it. You didn't get enough sleep last night. I was tired when I got up this morning. Actually, usually I get up before my husband wakes me up. And today I was out when he woke me up, and I was like, okay, I had to lay there for a second and regroup and get up. And then once I get up, I'm excited for the day. And so, we're not real big talkers in the morning, which is funny for me. I know y'all are thinking, really? Yes, I'm really not. I like to get up, like I said, get the bed made, get ready, straighten my little zone, grab my Stanley with water in it, because I don't eat breakfast right then. I don't eat anything until after I get off the air, usually, or right around the time, so that I've had the fasting of my body. I have tried to go so many hours, and that's fueling your body. I know I used to think that is the dumbest thing, okay? And then I would say, oh, well, I slept 6 hours. I didn't eat. Well, I've made it a little bit longer, a little bit longer, a little bit longer. I'm only up to, I think, 12 hours, which isn't good compared to some of y'all, but I get it. I get why you do it, and big thing is water. I'm a big water advocate. I have water with me everywhere I go. And it's funny because this morning, I didn't drink a lot of water last night. I was busy. I went to bingo. I love bingo. I never did things like that before. And so the last few months I've been doing that, and it's just fun girl time. And so went there, got home. Well, I hadn't been drinking a lot of water. Normally I drink down that whole Stanley during that time. I was just having too much fun, and I was just, enjoying myself. So this morning I got up and I felt a little lightheaded, and I was like, oh man, and I started to get my stinking thinking. I started, and then God said, hold up, you need to drink. And I thought, you're totally right. I'm dehydrated. That easy. I grabbed my drink. I took a big gulp, and I said, thank you, Lord. Things can change over a little change in your life. We don't do something, And that can cause a change in the wrong way by me forgetting to drink when I first got up. Okay. Or we can change in a positive way by drinking down half my Stanley, and then my brain was clear and I was ready to take on the day. So what are you doing in your life that you need to be intentional about? My intentional is protein and water. I know that sounds weird, but I intentionally make sure that I'm eating protein, that I'm hydrating, I'm doing my liquid IVs, because I think it's important to fuel my body. So when you're walking into today where you're overbooked or slammed or whatever you want to call it, you are prepared. If I would have walked in today and the station would have been a disaster, I would have been okay, because I was mentally and physically ready to take on whatever came on today. Well, when I got here and it was great, I could do other things. Use your time wisely, and I am a person that likes to put it all on a piece of paper and checking off, and doing it like that. Whatever works for you. Like I said, I would love to be that calendar person. In my mind, I'm that calendar person. I just don't do it as well as I would think I'd want to do it, but I think I'm a visual person. I'm a person that likes to check it off and do my list, and I love people. I just love people. Yesterday, it was just buzzing in here with people everywhere. Every chair was taken. Every mic was being used. And I thoroughly love it. I was thinking this little building in Holly Hill represented like 9 nonprofits yesterday. Wow, 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 wow. But God, but God, but God. When you can be secure in your nonprofit and whatever you are, and then invite others in. You want them to succeed. You want success for them and their nonprofit. That is what God is doing with me. This journey started several years ago with the nonprofit thing, and I see his plan. And I love that God will give you a little seed and he'll water it a little bit, and then he'll let it grow a little bit, and then he'll flood it a little bit, and then he'll let it grow a little bit, and then you have to trim it up. And I look at that and I go, that's what God's been doing. He's got a great plan. And, the city of Holly Hill, we've got some stuff getting ready to happen. And I'm excited to see what God's going to do with the stuff that's about to happen. Sometimes change is weird. Sometimes it's a little uncomfortable. Sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes you don't understand it. But I can tell you what, when God is in it, it's going to be all right. Well, y'all, it is Wednesday. I love me some Wednesday. Like I said, I've got an interview at 7 o'clock, so tune back in at 7 o'clock to find out what that's about. Maybe you want to donate to WAPN, your dollars, your fives, your hundreds, your thousands. That keeps us on the air, and we really appreciate all of you that donate to WAPN. You can bring it by the station at 1508 State Avenue in Holly Hill. If I'm not here, there's a mail drop on the door. You can put it through there. I will get your dollars, your fives, your hundreds, your thousands, whatever. Or you can go to our website, WAPN.net, and give there. We appreciate you becoming a monthly partner. That keeps us going. So thank you so much for that. Let's get our favor on and let's get this day going. When you're in a habit of bragging on God's goodness, you'll see him do extraordinary things in your life. And I feel that. I feel like he's doing extraordinary things here at WAPN. We've got some awesome new shows starting. We're meeting more nonprofits, which is important to me. We're getting to volunteer. I love giving back to our community. I love being part of this community. So just keep listening. You'll get to be part of it also. You'll get to join on in. You'll get to volunteer. You'll get to have a good old time. It is Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. The weather 66 with a low of 55. Friday morning, it's going to be like 32 when I come to work. It could snow, just so you know. If it rained, it could snow. So I just want to throw that out there. It's going to be so cold. Madison, it's 56 with a low of 43. If it's your birthday today, happy birthday, Sheila and Dawn and Nancy and Elizabeth and everybody else celebrating a birthday, anniversary, whatever you're celebrating. Happy. Today is National Hot Pastrami Day. I don't think I've ever had pastrami. I was thinking about that. Have I? I don't know. I love finding out about these different days because I like to challenge my brain. Have I done that? I do not know. Remember, decluttering this week is your bedroom, and then it's also the laundry room. Yeah, mine's in the garage. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. But yeah, the laundry room. Oh my goodness, that's a whole thing in itself right there. Well, y'all, I'm out of here till 7 o'clock. You have a wonderful